Tittle Tattle, episode 78, your supporter-only media analysis show brought to you weekly by Bill Doris and myself. If you are watching this little clip on another platform besides ROKFIN and Locals, you're not getting the show in its entirety because you're not a supporter. You can come over to my editorial board, become a supporter on Locals, ROKFIN, or Patreon, then you'll get the show every week. I got to say, this is one of the funniest stories of the day, not just because of what's the most hilarious about it. For instance, because of course, Twitter is refuting that they should be labeled. Basically, they're being labeled now government funded media.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's go to Elon's Twitter real fast. Okay.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
What,
whoa.
Bill?
Pause.
What?
So I just pulled up Locals and I see you have questions for Tim Pool's ex-producer, Lydia.
Yeah, she's coming on tomorrow.
What?
Mm-hmm. It's beanie day. Everybody wear your beanie.
I am pulling a producer privilege card. I demand to be a part of this.
You can pop in anytime.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
You can totally pop in anytime.
Wow.
Okay, let's get back on track, Bill.
Let's
get back on track.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm hearing myself too. I don't know if I'm hearing myself through your headphones into the microphone, but that's okay. It's not bothering me that much. Hopefully it's not bothering everybody else. So this is the funny thing. Wait, where is it? Okay, the Babylon Bee wrote an article called National Public Radio Denies Being National or Public. Because that's what they're saying, basically, that they have, it's just such a minor thing. They're not really, it's like, it's in your name, dude. And then Elon Musk tweeted that NPR literally said federal funding is essential to public radio on their own website, which is now taken down. Okay, so, listen, I want to start this off first by saying to everybody that I understand very, very many people are skeptical of Elon Musk and his purchase of Twitter and what he's doing and what his plans are, all that stuff. And I totally understand. Okay, I think we can have two things existing at once. Both fair skepticism and even potential concern that people have, right? Don't like the guy. Okay, fine. You're welcome here too. You really love the guy. You're welcome here too. I think this is just funny for me and interesting because of, first off, the fact that Twitter is now going to be void, at least in the near future, of NPR because they're taking their ball and going home. And also that they're denying that they have any influence from the government because of their funding. So let me just read you one of the parts here, Bill. That it's wrong because they're basically no, I'm not going to subscribe. It's wrong because they are going to be aligned with China or Russia. I'm trying to find the part where they say that. Oh, yeah. They wanted to first label the network state-affiliated media, the same term it uses for propaganda outlets in Russia, China, and other autocratic countries. Okay, just their very, I think, effort to protect certain administrations, whether they want to call it journalism. Like, I think they probably believe that they're doing journalism, but they're definitely doing it to protect certain administrative parties or powers that be versus those that they have deemed to be a threat.
Please note that the U.S. is a systematically corrupt fascist propaganda state.
That's what I wanted to read you. And then also Resident Bedouin said Peter Boghossian did an excellent series of videos on YouTube called All Things Reconsidered and laid bare the bias that they found. This is about NPR. Included in their group was a woman that worked for public radio for years. I do think it's fair that if they get funding from the federal government, which they say they do, and I mean,
but the federal government, that would include an administration or two that they were not covering favorably, would it not?
Yes, but I mean that's the thing. It's just labeled government funded. I mean, it's not pro Biden funded or anything. It just says government funded, which is true.
Okay.
Now, their argument is that they get like less than 1%. I'm going to go try to find it.
But while you're looking for that, I think it would be neglectful of us if we didn't mention how many times before Elon Musk bought Twitter, how many times was the New York Post labeled as propaganda? Or especially with the Hunter Biden laptop thing. How many times was Fox News labeled as propaganda?
Well, they're not being labeled propaganda. They're being labeled government funded.
Okay.
That's what they're being labeled. So they're quitting over that because they don't want the
Okay.
government funded title, even though they
No.
are funded by the government. Going over to ROKFIN real fast, where Comrade says NPR protects the US government and deep state in their biased coverage, but also regarding even if you don't like Elon Musk, you can still appreciate what's happening here. Seeing NPR get owned is funny, regardless of who it comes from. And I kind of agree with that. I will say maybe I'm missing something, and there's a criticism out there of this of somebody who doesn't necessarily like NPR and doesn't like the labeling either. Maybe you're
Right.
out there. Maybe you should leave a comment. Let us know. Are we missing something here? I mean, is this setting a precedent that's concerning for free speech and censorship because NPR is getting labeled, and just because we don't like them doesn't mean we should celebrate because there's a trick waiting for us down the path. So let us know if you think
Yeah.
that way. I'd be interested to hear that. But okay, going back to their article again, NPR quits Twitter after being falsely labeled as state affiliated media. That's originally what they were going to be called. And then I guess Musk decided, if it's him singularly that's doing it or just the outlet itself, Twitter itself, with other people making the decision, that they're now going to be government funded. But it's obvious that Musk does not like them. Or at least he's made it clear that he's got issues. All right, he's tweeted defund NPR. In fact, let me go to his page. Okay, so again, he's tweeting here. NPR literally said federal funding is essential to public radio on their own website. What hypocrites! And again, has the Babylon Bee. National Public Radio denies being national or public. And this is the real own, though. Okay, this is why be careful if you send an email to Elon Musk, okay? Because you guys might be friends now, but if you ever cross him at some point, he's one of those people who is going to share your emails like to the entire world. So I just a suggestion, if anyone watching this, one of the like 10 people watching this episode of Tittle Tattle happens to run across him at a cocktail party, we recommend not putting anything in writing that you wouldn't mind, or you wouldn't want, I should say, the rest of the world to see, because he's definitely that guy. Why state label? Bobby Allen asks. Okay, because of the label, NPR is quitting Twitter across all of our 50 plus accounts. Our executives say the government funded media label calls into question our editorial independence and undermines our credibility. Some wonder if this will cause a chain reaction among news organizations. What's your reaction? Now, this is my favorite part of this
Here we
is
go.
that NPR uses the same tactic they use in a lot of their reports, which is some wonder if this will cause a who wonders that? NPR wonders that, because they do it. Experts say, some say, how they do that?
Yep.
Some wonder. Who wonders? They say that as they just make this like there's this ghost person we're gonna have to whenever they're trying to like pull in their own opinion. That's what they do. A lot of
Right.
news organizations do this. It's their opinion, but they want it to sound like it's not their opinion because they're trying to pretend that they're objective. So they say some wonder. No, you wonder. So just say we wonder. Anyway, I just had to flag that for you. Thanks for watching. We really really went down some different paths that we were not planning to.
Love
So
it. But that's what makes Tittle Tattle worth subscribing to.
yeah, that's true. All right. Don't forget to go to AllisonWinePromo.com, TwinEngineCoffee.com/Allison. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.